Thank you, Don. Everybody okay? Yeah? Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Don and his team for putting on the event, and of course, for letting us come today and give you a bit of an idea of what this is all about. So hopefully I'll talk to you about what UniGreenScheme is and how we're working with the sustainability team here to reduce the waste at Warwick, particularly in the kind of research departments. So going back a couple of years, I was studying, I did a cross Midlands PhD program at the time, so I was working between Birmingham, Leicester and Warwick primarily. And what happened one day in my research department was they were going through like a lab clear out. And so basically what happened was there was a room full of equipment that they hadn't used for maybe 10 years. And I was asked one day to basically take all this old stuff we weren't using anymore, walk down the corridor and put it into an actual waste skip. And I was looking at this stuff at the time thinking, you know, this is stuff that can be a lot of lab equipment, but there was also things like projectors and amplifiers and items that I thought, you know, surely there's something more we can do with this equipment rather than putting it into disposal. And because I was in a lot of different places, I realised that this wasn't just a problem, you know, in Birmingham, it wasn't a problem in Warwick, it was a problem through universities throughout the whole of the UK. And so I came up with an idea at the time to basically take this old equipment away off the university hands and sell it on their behalf. So effectively what we do is we collect surplus equipment from the universities, we take it to our facilities, and then we sell it on their behalf. And then after the sale, we give the university a share of the profits back. So we make it really easy for anyone in the department to not waste equipment. So if they've got a situation like this, it's a classic storeroom environment where there's all manner of equipment that's been built up for 5-10 years or more, rather than basically paying for it to go into an electrical skip. We can come in, clear their shelves, and they may get, you know, sort of £500 to £1,000 back. And what's really cool is also where this stuff might end up, because if you go into a bioscience lab and there's maybe 5-10-year-old kit that's not being used anymore, there's a huge number of like startup companies and things like that can buy this equipment and just plug it in and use it. And so you're basically helping other organisations get hold of equipment they simply couldn't afford if it wasn't second hand. As the service expanded, we started working with more and more kind of larger equipment. So we've gone as high as, you know, enormous mass spectrometers, as well as sort of higher end microscopes. And you think from, I mean, Joel mentioned about resource usage earlier. If you take something like a mass spectrometer, and you think about all the precious metals and all the engineering experience that's gone into constructing a machine like that, it's an enormous resource cost. To be able to take something like that away from an environment where it's not being used and put it back into to another location where it is going to be used and extend its life, well, there's a huge resource saving there, and that's what we were doing. And it was really interesting from my end because I come in as a student. I mean, I studied sport and exercise science. It wasn't anything to do with sustainability. It wasn't anything to do with any particular area. But I've gone from being in a student role to effectively, you know, going around all different universities and collecting all manner of equipment. And as the service expanded, we didn't just deal with lab equipment. We started working with engineering equipment as well. So this was one of the projects we did where we cleared out a mineral processing room, and imagine all this equipment would have gone to disposal, and we were able to separate it out and sell all the different bits of equipment. This stuff in particular went to a geochemist who lived locally to us, and he was literally able to get his business off the ground because he was able to get equipment that he just couldn't afford. A second-hand jaw crusher, one of the top right there, is about £3,000. Whereas to buy a new one, you're looking £20,000, £30,000. You can't afford that if you're a startup company. You just can't do it. And again, it got more and more advanced. So, you know, next thing you know, we're decommissioning like deposition chambers. But we started expanding more and more and doing other things. So not just lab equipment, but also general items. So one day we were doing the project of this, and the next day we'd be clearing out like a university gym. So this was a project in Birmingham we did. We had 90 pallets of gym equipment. Again, a lot of that would have ended up going into disposal. So we've already done quite a bit of work with Warwick here, particularly in the life sciences and the kind of chemistry department. We've had a lot of support, but we're really still in the early days. We've only done a relatively few projects, and we can really expand the service a lot more. So we're really looking for anyone who can help raise a bit of awareness of the service. If you're in a department and you see some waste, get in touch and basically help us to spread the word around the campus and prevent kind of waste. And can we chat to Santos?